Hi everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to look at a technique called Six Thinking Hats, developed by Edward Debono in 1985. I personally use this specific model when it comes to analyzing business models, working around on ideas, or while starting a business plan, because it helps me understand the problem better or understand the whole process better and come up with a better way of looking into the whole business model itself. Let's start from the basic. Everybody has a way of approaching a problem. Some people use their instincts, some people use data, some people use their pure guts. But the problem around analyzing the problems is that we are having a narrow mind towards looking at the problem because we are playing to our strengths. So there's a lot of pros and cons around it because we are not looking at it from different perspective. That's exactly where a technique like six thinking hats would be really helpful. In fact, the best part about this specific technique is that it lets you look at the problem from six different viewpoints and be able to analyze them with six different lenses. So by the end of the exercise, you will be able to look into the same problem but with six different mindset and have a better understanding about the problem, which in turn helps you to come up with a better answer for this. Let's explore what the six thinking hats are and what they represent. Hat number one, white hat. White hat is a data hat or information hat. While wearing a white hat, you will look at the problem purely from the information that is shared to you already. You will look at the problem and see, okay, what are the things that I know about the problem? What are the information or data that is available about the problem? What information do I need further to get a better to get a better understanding about the problem, and how can I get the information that I lack right now? These are the list of things that you'll have to answer yourself while wearing a white hat, and which gives you a deeper understanding about the problem purely from a data or an information perspective. Hat number two, red hat. When you're wearing a red hat, then it is more of an instinct hat where you're looking at the problem purely from your instinct perspective and you're playing to your strength. You're taking calls. You can take calls based on the decision, based on your comfort zone, based on the vibe that you get out of the things. Though it sounds irrational, it happens to us on a daily basis. We often hear people saying, I have a good feeling about the way this can be done, or I have a feel that if we try this specific model, this might work. These are the places where we actually use a red hat without knowing we are using one. Hat number three, yellow hat. Yellow hat is also called as the optimistic hat, where you're looking at the problem purely from a positive, optimistic mindset, where you're thinking anything that I'm working on right now, any solution that I'm proposing is going to work fine. And based on that, you look at the problem and come up with a list of solutions to it. Where this really helps us is it helps us to look at the problem with a positive mindset and come up with solutions. Number four, black hat. See, when you're wearing the black hat, you're wearing a flipped version of the yellow hat. Now you're looking at only the negative things or the bad things that could happen by implementing the solution. You should come up with a mindset saying, okay, if I try the way that I'm trying right now, what are the negative things that could happen to the problem? Though it sounds very negative, this eventually helps us to come up with a plan B or a plan C towards the problem, which will in turn help us during the final leg of coming up with a solution. Hat number five, green hat. The green hat is also called the creative hat, or it's all about coming up with creative solutions to the problem which we haven't tried before. So the best way to go ahead, or the best questions to ask yourself is, what is there a different viewpoint for the problem that I haven't tried? Is there a different approach to the solution that I had overlooked before? Are there any out of the box solutions that I can look at? This definitely helps a lot of people. Personally speaking, I had been in meetings where people, when we tried green hats, came up with some crazy solutions but very innovative solution which we even had implemented and had been really successful. So I'm a big fan of green hat. Number six, blue hat. Blue hat is all about process control. It is also called as the control hat. While wearing a blue hat, what you really do is you will recall all the hats that you wore before and say, okay, I wore five different hats now. Which is the most ideal one where I was closer to the solution, or where I felt really ideal in how I approached the problem, and decide, okay, this is the hat to go with. And many times it could be even multiple hats. There are places where I had used the same technique, and my favorite combination was a yellow and a green hat. That worked for me a lot of times, but it differs based on the problem and where you are implementing it. But while wearing the blue hat, there's a list of questions that you'll have to look at. You'll have to answer yourself saying, was I biased to any of the hat? Did I give equal importance to all the hats or not? Did is there multiple hats or multiple probability of them working or not? So these are the list of questions you will have to answer yourself before you can decide which hat to go ahead with while wearing the blue hat. And at the end of this whole exercise, after wearing all the six hats, can you be sure that you're going to come up with a foolproof solution? No, nobody can promise that. But what really happens is, because you had looked at this problem from six different perspectives, where you had been optimistic about things, where you had been pessimistic about things, where you had been innovative about things, and where you had been data driven about things, what really happens at the end of this exercise is you would have looked at that problem from various point of views, and then you will have a far deeper understanding about the problem itself, which helps you to come up with a better solution which otherwise was not possible. That's exactly where it has been helpful for me. Do try the technique and keep me posted on how it works for you. Personally speaking, it has done wonders for me. Thanks for watching this video. Do subscribe to this channel. It means a lot to me. Have a great day.